We've got a few more to go, so give yourselves a few minutes to grab another break for a flight break. We'll pick up again. I don't know who've done a lot of streaming before. And the stuff I'm using is creativity. The pimp stops. You just start again. So I've just had to set up another stream and record it on Facebook and say, that's a Damien moving stuff around.
I need a guy to play and take breaks.
Yes, I started a new live stream. And there's got to be some interspersed pre-recorded video with the live stream that I tried on yesterday to get how to do it. The problem is if you do it once and you learn all stuff about it, and then you do it again for another 3 years. I'm not a little kid now. Especially with COVID, I mean, that works in video conferencing. So we're installing Teams over lockdown.
They're not confusing them.
Okay, a couple of minutes and we'll start again.
How do you think you're going time-wise for a finish?
a further fence for it. I think we're probably only got 15 minutes to go. Yeah, 15, 20.
It's never going to come out of your mind. Talking rubbish, man. Yep. You want to get going?
So what we were trying to say was my name was Ross. It was taking him to stretch out every syllable.
Thomas Lowe. He's gone to London for some cricket final. He's set what's on his own? We just laugh.
Okay, we'll start again, please. Quiet, please. Quiet. Okay, quiet, please. Quiet. Okay. Some noisy elderly people out the back. Yeah. You'll be next. Okay, so I don't really want to turn this political, but Rob suffered enormously and needlessly through the last few months, and both the emotional and financial costs were huge to try and keep him comfortable, well past the point of any hope of recovery had passed. Rob's cat Alfie was allowed to be put down when it was discovered that it was full of cancer. And that cat was a piece of shit. It didn't deserve any empathy whatsoever. It had been thrown into a wood chipper. But Rob was not given the same allowance, and it's really criminal. He wasn't allowed to have the pain be over. So please, when the referendum comes up in September, please think of people like Rob when you're deciding how to vote on that referendum. Likewise, Rob and a lot of the other cancer sufferers have found marijuana provides a huge amount of pain relief and has a lot less side effects than other painkillers do. Rob was a very strong advocate for marijuana even before he hit the slightest cold. And although I actually was not for a number of years, I've learned about it a lot recently and seen how many people, especially cancer sufferers, get relief from cannabis, and it's really changed my mind. So again, September, please think seriously about how you're going to vote on that referendum. Okay, we've now got Olivia.
Yay. Hi, I'm Olivia. For you that don't know me, there's so many people that I actually don't know today that I've met. Hello, which is pointing at me. So yeah, it's really nice that we can finally have this. I prepared a speech that sort of resembles a 1,200 word essay, so it shouldn't be too long. I know you guys have been standing for a while. Is this okay to stand here? Cool. All right. Touched. Me and Dad both agreed that funerals were lame. They're sad, I cry, you cry, everyone's crying, sad music makes the crying cry harder. It's miserable. No funerals are fine, but he was determined not to turn his aftermatch into one. He chose the fitting name of Aftermatch and left Mum a large note of the agenda for tonight and what he wants here today. As you can tell by all the caps scattered around and the whole way memorabilia in there. And I must also say that there's a condolence book in there for you guys to write your favourite memories. There's not too many in there at the moment, but it's sort of tucked away in the back. Even though he's not physically here right now, I think he can see the effort here today, and that all the people he loved are celebrating that beautiful name. Since he despises traditional funerals, I tried to write him a speech that was not soppy and sad. So I failed that. Okay. Dad was a compassionate and passionate man. If you knew him from work, went to school with him, or for any reason really, you know that he was a selfless and caring guy. He even put his love into regularly donating during Greenpeace and was always invested in environmental issues, hence getting called hippie by his peers. And he would also donate to the SPCA to contribute his part in helping helpless wee animals. His compassion for animals didn't stop there. He took a cat named Alfie under his wing. If you knew Dad, you knew he'd love a good BITCH fest about Alfie. And I hope you guys can't spell. And had many facial scars to show for it. He had one scar that went from like this forehead down his cheek and it made it look really badass. But it was actually just his cat beating him. He was so passionate about everything he did. No offense to any of his lovely workmates here tonight, but water waste management and dealing with human excrement is not something most people are excited about. But after a long day on site, Dad could not wait to show Mum and I images of manholes and child-sized vacuums. As if he were a little boy who just scored a Player of the Day award. Dad was also an extremely creative person, and I like to think this creativity rubbed off on me and Grace. He has always showcased his artistic abilities, whether it was by his beautiful paintings or by putting meticulous care into projects at work. Growing up, we saw majority of Dad's time and energy go into bizarre and optimistic projects. For example, and you would have seen up on the TV, his ever-growing bottle cap collection. And he attempted to turn into a work of art or a coffee table, I can't quite remember. It reached over 200 bottle caps before Mum realised what this monstrosity of an artwork would entail, leading her to ban him from ever creating it ever. Anytime Grace and I had school projects, specifically when we had to create models, I always laugh when I imagine Grace's teacher's face when I saw both Mum and Grace carrying a 1 to 50 scale model of, what was it? Rupapa Island. It was so huge, I would be quite skeptical myself if I was teaching. And let's not forget the Halloweens that have been growing with extravagance each year. It started off with adding giant eyes to the front of the house. Okay, that's pretty cool. The next year he created a ghost jail, which included homemade jail doors that you'd look through to see a scary clown that resembled John Wayne Gacy. Wow, there's a lot of thought that went into that. Pretty cool too. And then it morphed into this yearly event that required hours and hours of labouring on props. He assigned acting roles to everyone that required days of method acting and careful curation of, oh my goodness, of cubbies and interactive elements for the eager little trick-or-treaters who now know that coming to our house at Halloween is a full-blown experience. Dad was also hilarious. He never failed to make me laugh and embarrass me in front of my friends. He channeled his hilariousness into a range of adult comics, which unfortunately I had the pleasure of reading. I wish I could tell you about any of them right now, but trust me, the titles are foul. But I will be selling copies in the back after the speech. If I remember rightly, he would also incorporate his undying need to make others laugh in his work presentations. I remember him showing me one of, I think it was something for Bill's birthday. If anyone has an example of his work groups, I'd be excited to hear. Even though Dan is sadly not with us right now, I feel an overwhelming sense that he is still with me every day. Okay. Even today, I sense an overwhelming energy of him being amongst us. So I'd like to finish my speech by talking directly to him. Because even though I don't believe in divine spirit, or at this point to be honest, I'm overtaken by a sense that he is somehow listening and having a beer at the bar. Although it hasn't been long since I saw you last. No, it's okay. I feel as though you're following me and guiding me through daily actions. I'm constantly asking myself, WWDD, what would Dad do? I find myself laughing at stupid Facebook cat videos and wishing I could take you. Instead, I ask myself, WWDD, what would Dad do? And think about his reaction to those cat videos. Even though it's not the same, it's the memory of his mannerisms and humor that makes me laugh all over. I ask myself, what would Dad do when I can't find the will to do assignments or even go to work? Sorry to I love coming here, truly. And I know you're saying you got this busted out so you can stress later. He had a great work ethic, and I aspire to be like that. If it could help bringing up fatbergs from the ground to bring home the bacon right up until his last weeks, then I have no excuse not to do the marketing either. I ask myself, what would Dad do if I brought a cat home that looks strikingly like Alfie, and is also very aggressive, that I've been hiding in my room for 3 days, and Mum doesn't know. Dad would say, keep the cat, he's not that bad after all. I miss him incredibly, and I am so sad that he won't grow with me through my adult years. Walk me down the aisle, or maybe an amazing granddad that I know he could be. I'm so lucky to have known him long enough to always find an answer when I ask myself, what would Dad do? And I will continue this thought process of asking my dad these questions for the rest of my life.
Just another quick story. When I lived in Malaysia for a few years when I was about 23. And Rob came over to see me for a couple of weeks. And we went out to a bar and they had a sexy legs competition. Now, if you've ever been to Malaysia, although it's a bit of a party town, Kuala Lumpur, there's quite a lot of conservatism there. And Rob offered to take off his trousers and do a Ravishing Rick Rude imitation, which virtually shut down the bar. But he did win the competition, which was impressive. Okay, so my daughter Jazz is now going to sing one of Rob's favourite songs. If she could hold it together. She's only just learned this, so be calm. Okay. Come in here, son. Don't get too close to the side. Do you want to start it for you?
Oh, no, it's okay. Uncle Rob was like a second father to me. I mean, literally, he and my dad didn't look so vastly different. It'd be hard to tell them apart. He always knew how to make people laugh. And when he and my dad would be together, we'd all go at it from laughing. It was never a dull moment with him. So this song was for you, Uncle Rob. And I'll continue to love and miss you every day. Oh, you got this. I mean, he loved Weed and Weezer, so I feel like this was a great way to represent him.
Stick your phone on the other side, Jazz.
Okay, yep. I think I'm going to have a sing. My love is so sweet. Letting go of all the troubles that I see. When you don't want to touch me, I'm drifting like a lost balloon. I'm out of reach, I won't be coming down anytime soon. Anytime soon. I'm high, getting high.
Full breath, Jazz.
I'm trying. I think I'm going parasailing. Miles above, it's so serene. I'm letting go of all the troubles that I see. Way up here, no one can touch me. I'm drifting like a lost balloon. I'm out of reach, I won't be coming down anytime soon. Anytime soon. I'm high, why gotta come down? I feel no pain, I feel no pain. I only want to disappear. So let me play this game for children. Disappear to the atmosphere. I'm high, high. For the world, I'm happy for the bird. I'm high, high. They know what I'm worth. I gotta come down, raise my eyes. Living up the nightmare chase. Whoa. All I wanna do is blow my really want. Whoa, all I wanna do is blow my mind. I can fly up to the stratosphere, high above the cirrus clouds, where I am one with the universe. I'm high and high, no word, high like a bird. I'm and I'm
Thank you, Jez. That must have been easy. Okay, not long to go now. Darn great. Okay, Rob and I made so many stupid jokes together, just won't translate into speech. I was reminiscing with Gracie yesterday about the time that she bet we couldn't go 1 minute without making a stupid joke. It wasn't even close. I think 20 seconds was the finish. One of our regular jokes is he would ring me up and pretend he was Yoko Ono and sing in a very bad Japanese accent. It always took 10 minutes of stupidity before we got into the real conversation. Okay, so that's the end of the planned speeches. I think we should just have a toast. So if you can grab your glass, where's mine? To Rob. Yes, no, we're going to ask for people to point. And as Olivia said, there is a memory book by the Tea and Coffee thing. Please stick your name there and have a look through the photos. So we're now going to ask if anyone, and I think there is somebody, who wants to say a few words.
Oh, hello everybody. I'm Tracy's mum, Heather. I'm going to share some of my stories about our lovely Rob. I met Rob about, how old are you, Olivia? I'm 21. 22 years ago. 22 years ago I met Rob. Tracy came and said to me, oh, she's met this nice guy. And she said, would I take Graydon for the weekend? I think it was New Year's. And I said, yeah, that's not a problem. We'll come over and pick him up. I said, yeah. Anyway, she came over in a little old, rusty old, little tiny car. She gets out, and then suddenly, this god of a man climbed out. I mean, he poured himself out of this little car. This beautiful, muscly, blonde, bronze body, singlet and shorts. Wow, I thought, whoa. Whoa. Tracy, you've done yourself well this time. Well, anyway, she said, we're just friends. We're just friends. Okay. Well, we used to do Tracy's housework. No, don't, Mum. No.
Yes, Mum.
Tracy. Well, said, yeah, I went and did her housework, but I went to clean the toilet. There was a condom in the toilet. Yes, he was just gorgeous. Our Rob was just gorgeous. She done well. I mean, some of her boyfriends weren't so well, but she done well this time. So thank you, Tracy, for bringing Rob into our family, because he was an amazing husband. Nothing I like better than listening to Tracy giggle over the phone. Rob's doing something in the background. Don't know what, but she was always giggling. I want to see that back again. One day, I'm going to see that back again. So that's what we want. Anyway, thank you, Tracy, for bringing such a wonderful man into our lives, because we loved him dearly. We loved him dearly. Next, please.
Well done. Does anyone else want to say anything? Someone's coming up from the back.
Kia ora. My name's Jules. Good to see turnout for Rob's aftermatch, as he put it. I've known Rob since we were about 6. We started playing rugby together at Mirabelle Pat down at Bishopdale Park, and Rob and his family were right across the road. Back in those days, my father coached us. We were a bit of a mismatch of deviants, or kids in those days, but very, very, very lucky with the group that were put together, and the old fella knocked us into shape. Rob was part of that group. Rob struck me as always being, definitely had a good sense of humour. Was a funny bastard. And when we were kids growing up, Rob, back in those days, Rob was into wrestling. So, we'd be down at the park pre-training, and Rob would go, I learned this really cool move. We're going, cool move doing what? He said, wrestling. So we're, being young fellas, I'll step up to the plate and have a bit of a go. And Rob would get us in these locks, and we're going, yeah, I can get out of this. No. We had to tap out. But he's a really, really good guy. Gave everything. Even for us guys that played sport together, I played rugby with Rob for a lot of years, and basically I grew up with him and knew him all my life. Fortunately for me, I spent a few years overseas travelling around. I was lucky enough to be able to meet up with Rob again when I come back from overseas. And we came back to the Newlands Div 5 team, which Rob was involved in, and been involved in that team for quite a number of years. And for me, playing senior rugby overseas, and then coming back playing Div 5, I thought, you'd be quite social and chilled out. I was wrong. Pretty competitive side. It was a crossover between guys who were looking to go and play seniors, guys that were coming down, and those guys were involved in that group even before I was involved in the team. We're a real good mix of the old 4th grade at Mirabelle Pat, and and Rob was involved in that group. And the very first year that I played, we made the final, and the final was against high school old boys down at Lancaster Park South back in those days. And anyway, high school old boys got up first, scored, and we were just going, far out, man, these guys are pretty good, they're into it. And then we struck straight back. And the thing that I remember about that game the most was the fact that, because Rob was playing loose like me, I was open side, and he actually scored this try. And I thought, yeah, he's going to give me the ball. Nah. He dummied the fullback and scored under the bar. But as I say, Rob always gave 110%. And as a kid growing up, being a forward, back in those days I was playing hooker. We used to be down at the park, and that, you talk about Rob's love of music. It's quite funny because we'd be packed down in a scrum, and all of a sudden, you hear, "Hey Jude, don't let me down," and away you go. And Rob being the man that he was, I love that in him. His sense of timing, and definitely break the ice in that situation. But always had a lot of time for Rob, and as I say, he gave it 110%. And that's reflective of the people that are here today in memory of Rob. I know Rob was an avid Greenpeace man, as I am myself, and we often sit down and have conversations about saving the world and saving the planet, amongst other things. And even to the extent of his appreciation of horticulture, put it that way. So I remember back in the day, when Tracy and Rob, you guys may not want to be married, and I think Rob asked me to come round. You were looking to work out of your garage, doing your hairdressing. So Rob goes, "Jules, can you come round, bro? I've got a cashier for you." "Yeah, bro, sweet ass." So I rock around there and goes, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do." And as soon as we open up the garage door, I'm going, "Jesus, Rob, what do you got going on in here?" It's a family show. I'm not going to say it all, but it was, as I say, it's appreciation of horticulture. But Rob, I know you're here. I know you're not here physically. I know you're here in spirit. I know that you'd love the fact that all these people are here enjoying this evening without you, but you'll be bumping your toast, just like the rest of us in your memory. Love you, bro. I know you're in a better place. And to Tracy, Grace, Olivia, and Rob's extended whānau, Murphy to you, and it's a huge loss. It's good, mate. Cheers.
Thanks. I was reminded of another quick Rob anecdote. I very rarely played in the same competitive teams as Rob's, were in different sports. But we did play touch rugby against each other once. And we thought it would be funny if we pretended we were mortal enemies as we went onto the field. So as the teams walked out, we were sort of swearing and hissing at each other. And then I think I got the ball and ran past him. He caught me and smacked me hard on the back with both hands. And I turned around and grabbed him by the throat and said, "Watch how hard you're touching, hippie." And the ref came over and sent me off. And Rob went, "What are you doing? He's my best mate. Don't send him off," which is quite unusual, evidently, in rugby for the opposition to beg, not for you to be sent off, but yeah, I was sent off. And Rob got guilty for the rest of the game. Okay, is there anyone else who wants to say something? No? Okay. Okay, well, in that case, thank you everyone very much for coming, and we'll wrap it up there. Thanks. I think some more food's been put in.
So hi, I'm Blair. We're going to be putting some food up just on the hot glass up here, some pizzas and a ham, some buns and breads and things like that. So for those who are wanting to start, of course the bar's open, and tea, coffee available in the pink room next to the bottom of the donuts if you'd like to sign that as well. Okay. So for those who are just standing up by those lights, if I just like to move away from that just so we can get everyone circulating around that food as it comes up. Thank you very much.